or as lenient FM locations so our skilled technicians can check it out. Fix It Forward Auto Care, the name you trust for car repair.
Fix It Forward Auto Care.
This is Weather and Ag in Focus with Bridgette Readel, Justin Storm, and Dean Wysocki.
Oh my God!
Help indeed. Welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus, everybody. It's the 27th of December, and fun things on the show today. Dean, Bridgette, how are you doing? Thanks for joining me. You have a good Christmas break, a few days off?
Sliding all over the place. Not too bad, though.
Yeah, no kidding.
Wait, off? You had off. I didn't.
Well, you had a weekend. You had the weekend, and
Yeah.
you're back in here Christmas Day.
It doesn't feel like Wednesday. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like midweek.
So this is that week of the year where, like, up until December 25th, I was happy, jolly, festive. Now I am stuffed full of cheese, had way too much wine, and I have no idea what day it is. And this is going to go on until New Year's. That's just how it is.
I thought you were about to say depressed or something.
No, wouldn't get there.
You sound stuffed
But-
up.
Yeah, you sick, Bridgette?
Yeah, good news. Everybody went home with great gifts and left a cold for me. So
Aw,
yippee!
man.
Thanks, guys.
Bummer.
Oh well.
Yeah.
It'll be fine as long as I don't go outside. Because when you go outside, all you're going to do is fall down today. Have you guys been seeing the pictures of everybody else's ice? I mean, I try to post some to our Facebook page as well.
Well, Justin sent me a picture. You could ice skate. You could lace up your skates and go ice skating on Justin's driveway. I'm sure it's the same where you're at, Bridgette.
Yes, and actually, I got a picture or a short video from over by Courtney, North Dakota, which if you think about northeast of Jamestown, a young gal put her ice skates on and skated down Highway 9, the actual highway, because there's so much ice covering it.
Yeah, and those poor people around Jamestown, they're still without power, and boy, it might be a while. Thankfully, Mother Nature is giving us at least a little bit of a break out there, as we've got a lot of clouds around. There's still some fog, and yeah, even some patchy drizzle and freezing drizzle. But the good news is the steady falling precip, which we've had for the last 3 days, is out of here. So just a little drizzle and fog, but again, there's enough of that freezing drizzle that we could see, again, some scattered slippery travel. So please be careful, because current temperatures are right around that freezing mark across the entire area. Tonight we'll see that fog roll back in with lows in the mid-20s, so that means we'll have freezing fog, and that could slicken up travel a little bit for your morning commute tomorrow. And then we'll see mainly cloudy skies, mid-30s tomorrow, more fog Thursday night, Friday morning. A little more sun as the winds turn to the southwest on Friday, warming us up into the mid to upper 30s. Again, a little cooler where there's still snow cover on the ground. And then Saturday and Sunday, we turn colder, back in the 20s. Pretty windy Saturday. But then Sunday, the winds will lighten up. All those temperatures still well above where we should be. And just what a crazy dynamic storm. And over 2 inches of rain here in the FM area. Here at the station, I think we picked up 2.18 inches of rain. And it's no wonder, I believe, and I think the Weather Service is digging for information on this. This is the first time a flood warning has ever been issued on the Red River here in the FM area during the month of December. I mean, just crazy.
So a couple of things that I've picked up in my reading and so forth. One is this could be the fourth wettest December we have on record for precipitation, and especially coming in rainfall versus what we may have seen otherwise. And if you look at the NDON sites, a lot of our ground temperatures are sort of around freezing, but we are solidly frozen in many places. So this actually could be some of the rainfall is really going to go into our soil profile as we think ahead for next year. But flood warnings in December in North Dakota, wow. And they're everywhere, right? There's ice from here all the way through Bismarck. It's wild in many places.
And then I saw pictures over the weekend where they were they were skiing. Not snow skiing. They were water skiing on Detroit Lake. They had obviously suits on, but the lake was open. They were water skiing on Detroit Lake. Just Man,
That also happened like the day or two before Christmas down by Napoleon, North Dakota on West Lake. There's a
really.
TikTok out there of a video of the guys have a boat out and they were water skiing. So we went from that to this. And I mean, there is some thick ice. The other night I was sitting on the couch and I could hear things popping. It was Christmas Day and I thought, why does it sound like fireworks? No, that was all the trees exploding as limbs were breaking off. It was
Wow.
wild.
That is crazy. And Bridgette, I actually think, don't quote me, I think this will be our wettest ever December on record.
So we
In
moved up in that
Fargo.
ranking. Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
it looks like the most precip we've gotten in December was 2.28 in 1927.
Did Weather Service put
I'm
that out?
reading
I didn't
this
see that.
right.
That's great.
I'm
Yeah.
just looking at the archive data online.
Okay.
I don't know if they have additional data or not, but
Man,
that's what it's saying. 2.28 in Fargo, 1927. So unless they have something to say otherwise, I think we're over that so far. At what are we at for total amount of precip? 2.93,
wow.
Wow.
almost 3 inches
Now-
of moisture.
So, okay, guys, why? Because is this something to do with El Nino? We know how the LRC tracks it. Is there a multitude of different things that have been shifting and happening in our weather pattern that brought this type of phenomena?
Well,
Yeah, well, I mean, the ice storms are definitely not a very common thing up here. They're more common as you head south, and I posted a little thing on that on the amount of ice storm warnings that we've actually ever had issued here, and it's not a whole lot. Our last one was in 2016, go figure, on Christmas, and then the time that equaled close to the amount of rain that we got during this one, or freezing rain and rain, all the precip junk, was back in the late 90s.
yeah, and you know, according to the LRC, we saw this storm coming. I mean, this was predicted
Yes.
at the end of November, and the question is, well, why this time did it give us so much precip, where in cycle one it didn't? In cycle one, it went south, and it kind of came in two pieces. We had a clipper system and then the upper low, but we had a split flow off the west coast, so your polar jet it's not kind of tied in with the regular jet stream. So any storm that comes on shore and gets into the midsection of the country, you don't have that polar jet to kind of lift it or to move it. So it'll be very interesting when this scenario comes back in February. Will the polar jet be tied to it? So this is a much quicker moving storm. Will it go south of us like it did in cycle one? Because we didn't get this much precip. Remember how we were talking how dry it was in that first cycle. Outside of the start of the first cycle in early October, it was a little bit stormy, but this went south of us in that first cycle. So when it comes to cycle three, it'll be interesting to see how this reacts. You know, or do we have a split flow? Is the polar jet tied in with it, where it'll be colder and it'll be mostly snow, and then it'll be a much quicker moving system as well. So a lot of things to look forward to, or not.
Now, there's probably not a perfectly accurate way to do this, but let's say that this rainfall had been snowfall instead. What's the estimate of how much snow we would have gotten out of this?
24 inches.
Yeah, up. Yeah, and some of that might have
poking
melted,
around.
but yeah, it was 20 inches easily. Yep.
Yeah, you would have been poking around 2 feet. Because we had a little over an inch on Tuesday, 3/4 of an inch on Monday, 1/2 inch on Sunday. Yeah, you'd probably be poking around 2 feet.
Yep.
Wow, we'd still be digging out, much like we're still waiting for things to melt off, because when is the sun going to shine? I'd really like to see that come back out, guys.
Friday and over the weekend.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So that'll help.
That would be awesome.
Especially Friday
Yeah.
with temperatures well above freezing and the sunshine. That will help. That'll help the trees, the roadways. That'll help out quite a bit.
Good. Well,
Yeah, my
keep the
poor
wind
tree
down
is
because
barely hanging on.
yes, exactly. Keep the wind down so those don't start breaking up. And just, I don't think we can give enough kudos to those who are out right now with Cass County Electric, Otter Tail Power, and others who are making sure people get back online. Just west of me, there's about 2.5 miles of power poles and lines that are broken off, just like toothpicks. They're down. And when one starts, it's a domino effect. Many more go.
Right.
So those guys are doing a great job. At my house, I was out of power for about 7 hours overnight. but they are all doing a much better job of keeping up for others. It's been good.
They've got a lot of work. So yeah, hats off to them, no doubt about it. Well, a
lot of work.
Yep. Well, we've got to go pay some bills and hear from the American Ag Network. But when we come back, we've got some ag talk. Ag, if I can spit that out. Some ag topics to talk about. We'll have that
Sure do.
and more coming up right after the break. Don't go anywhere.
Livestock market is mixed this afternoon for the American Ag Network. I'm Richard Risvet with this market update. Live cattle futures have steadily backed away from early week gains with mixed trade through most of the morning, leading to moderate to firm losses at midday. February contracts continue to be the most actively traded contract in the complex and is currently leading the market lower with losses over $1 per hundredweight. The rest of the market, though, is also holding moderate to firm losses as late trade through the holiday week is likely to limit renewed buyer support at this point. December contracts are essentially dead in the water as limited open interest in this contract is dwindling fast with these contracts moving toward expiration very quickly. The overall lack of volume in the market could allow for price shifts to continue to be seen through the rest of the session, but it is likely that the technical softness seen throughout the day here will continue through closing bell as traders adjust positions following yesterday's active gains. Cash cattle markets remain generally quiet, although a few bids are seen in Nebraska at $270 per hundredweight dressed basis. Asking prices are not readily available at this point, but for the time being, there is little to no interest in current bids. It is likely that activity trade will be delayed another day and possibly even until Friday. Box beef prices are mixed. Choice down 172 and select up 13 with a movement of 59 loads. We'll get a look at the livestock numbers next. You're listening to the American Ag Network.
Corn is native to the American continents and was unknown to the rest of humanity until Columbus arrived in the New World in the 15th century. It took less than 100 years after Columbus's discovery for corn to be introduced to farmers in Asia, Africa, Europe, and the Pacific Islands. After wheat and rice, corn is the third most cultivated crop in the world. The four nations that purchase the most corn from the United States are Mexico and Colombia, who use it as a food ingredient, and Japan and South Korea, who buy it mainly for animal feed. Around one-third of the corn grown in the United States is eaten by livestock, another third is used in the production of ethanol fuel, and the rest is either consumed by humans, exported to other nations, or used industrially. Now that sweet corn, that's the variety that most Americans grill or boil for cookouts or just eat straight out of a can with a spoon, accounts for just 1% of all corn grown in the United States. These farm facts brought to you by the American Ag Network.
Let's get a look at the livestock numbers. Live cattle December down 2 pennies at 170.55. February down 120 at 169.20. April down 60 at 172.85. And the June live cattle, they're down 35 at 170.65. Feeders January up 47 at 224.02. March up 70 at 225.27. Lean hogs February up 60 at 69.90. April down 2 pennies at 76.05. And the May lean hogs, they're unchanged at 82.80. Quick check on the grains here. March corn is down 3 3/4 at 476.5, with May down 3 3/4 at 488.5. With crude oil trading down a bit over a buck at just over $74 a barrel. For the American Ag Network, I'm Richard Risvet.
This is Weather and Ag in Focus with Bridgette Readel, Justin Storm, and Dean Wysocki.
Welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. I want to thank everybody for joining us at 1:22 in the afternoon on this Wednesday, December 27th. Temperatures here at the studio, 32 degrees, 32 in Moorhead, 31 in Grand Forks. Everybody pretty much right around the freezing mark.
Well, I don't want to make anybody nervous, but I've just noticed as we were coming back in to the show that my power is currently flickering. So if I'm all of a sudden gone, I'm sorry. That just means something is happening out here and I can't stop that one. We'll do our best though.
You know, I better let you know mine's doing the same thing as well.
You know, it is
Just
here at the
great.
studio, and so if it goes dark here, Jacob,
Yeah.
well, hopefully the generator kicks in. Hey, speaking of generators,
Yeah.
I got a text message from one of our listeners, John. John, if you want to call in, I think he said he had, if anybody needs a generator, that he does have some available. So,
Does he have them for cheap for us?
well,
'Cause
I don't
I'd
know
like
if it was
buy
to
one.
loan or to buy. I'm not quite sure. So, John, if you want to give us a hand with that, I'm sure there's people out there that would Absolutely need some generators, especially out just to our west where the power is still down.
Yep. Because they're going to need them for the next 3-4 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the issue is with, for us, when we're looking to get a generator as well, one is the initial price up front because they are expensive.
Yeah.
Two is we need one that's powerful enough to run an electric furnace because we don't have a gas furnace. Ours is electric, so it requires more power, and a typical generator I don't think produces enough to run it.
Right. You're going to need a slightly larger horsepower than just a smaller, like suitcase size generator.
Yeah. Not something that'll just trip it on and off, unfortunately.
And what's kind of funny is normally if the power went out and if it was cold enough, you'd just put things from the refrigerator like into a cooler and wheel them outside, right? Because Mother Nature would keep all that stuff cold and frozen for you. But right now it's at 32, so some things will be cold and some will thaw. And man, it's just a lot of crazy going on.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So speaking of crazy things, I found this statistic and I knew you guys would like this. So Santa went to deliver toys to an estimated 300 million kids this year at Christmas. That was approximately 86 million homes. Now, if every home left him an 8-ounce glass of milk, because, well, Santa likes his milk and cookies, he would have consumed 688 million ounces of nature's most perfect beverage. That was 46 million pounds of milk, over 5 million gallons. Roughly, that's 716 semi-tanker trucks full of milk. That's enough milk to make 4 million pounds of cheese or ice cream, or you could fill 8 Olympic-sized swimming pools, and that's a day's worth of milk from approximately 827,000 dairy cows. That's a lot of milk for Santa.
Well, no wonder he's got a little belly on him. Man.
Yeah, absolutely. That took a lot out of Santa. That's a lot of milk. I thought that was a pretty cool stat, though. That's over 700 tanker loads of milk delivered right there. Nice.
No wonder every time he shows up, he only takes a sip of it.
Right. He can only handle so much. I mean, 86 million homes. That was a lot of places. So, well, how many of you still have to get rid of your Christmas trees? Maybe there were some live trees that are done for. Well, if you're one of them, you should know that about 350,000 acres of trees are planted with Christmas trees on 15,000 different U.S. Christmas tree farms. They're grown in all 50 states. We are not a leader here in North Dakota, Minnesota, but the leaders in Christmas tree production are Oregon, North Carolina, and Michigan. And for every tree harvested, 1 to 3 seedlings are planted to take its place. The first Christmas tree farm was established in New Jersey in 1901. It had 25,000 Norway spruce on it. So think about that the next time you're buying your tree or when you're hauling it out the door later this week.
We just got the artificial one, so it's nice and easy. It fits into a box. I don't have to worry about all the needles falling off or bringing it in and out of the house. Hopefully it not catching on fire.
I'm going to tell you, I am team fake tree only because as a kid growing up where every time you slam the door and all the needles would fall off and hit the packages underneath, I just don't have that much time to vacuum in my life. Maybe it's the way I take care of a tree, but it was easier just to not have a real tree at this point. And how long are you going to leave yours up, though, Justin? Because the debate rages. Are you following the 12 days of Christmas, or is that sucker already going in the box today?
Well, we've had conversations of already taking it down. I don't remember what we do in years past. If we leave it up until January 1st, or if we take it down the day after Christmas. I can't recall.
Give Sterling some room to work, and it'll be down in no time.
Oh man, he got so many toys for Christmas.
I can imagine. How many did Dad end up playing with?
Right.
Well, he's got these really cool tractors, and I'm not going to say I haven't been playing with those. And then he gets cranky mad because apparently that's his new favorite toy. He got this. You remember the old corn popper where you'd grab it and you'd push it, and there'd be little balls in it?
Oh yeah, those are the best.
My mom got him one of those, so he's been running up and down. That thing's been going pop, 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 pop.
That's going to drive you nuts in a week.
They made them quieter. They used to be a lot louder. Now they're kind of like muffled. They put like a silencer on them or something.
Okay, but there goes all of the fun of being able to torment everybody around you with one of those things.
No,
I mean, making it quieter? Come on.
See, that's where you get him.
It still makes noise.
Now maybe Grandma will get him a drum set for next year.
Yeah, I'll be playing with that too.
No, I'm talking for Sterling. Drive you guys nuts.
Not now. Daddy's turn.
Yeah, no
Daddy
kidding.
been playing on it all week.
Dean, didn't you get something cool like that for Christmas this year?
A drum set?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I woke up, I had a lump of coal. I'm like, wait a minute. I've been pretty decent this year.
I mean,
pretty decent is not really good.
Yeah,
you just know that, right? There's a difference.
So I'm gonna have to pull more weight and do a little better for next year.
I guess so.
Man.
Drink more milk. Apparently Santa
Maybe
felt
you'll
like
get
you
a
weren't keeping it up.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll get a lake place next year.
Boy, if Santa could bring me a lake place, I'm gonna have to be really good for that. I'm gonna have to be really
Afraid
good.
so.
You're gonna have to behave yourself, Dean.
Yeah, I am.
It might be too late. I mean, it's already the 27th of December. Maybe you've already messed this up for next year.
Oh, no. We start over January 1st. So
Dean, what have you done? It's been
I've got
2 days.
I've got a few days to still be on the naughty list. And we can flip the switch. We can flip the switch for next year.
No.
Oh, there's still time. Great.
Well,
all right.
We're running up at the bottom of the hour. Hey, you guys I know we gave away a rain gauge before Christmas, but those rain gauges make a pretty good New Year's gift as well, don't you think?
They all do.
I want.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do people give gifts on New Year's? I want some.
All right. Well, I mean, if you're going to a New Year's party, normally you'll bring food or you'll bring, something to a New Year's Eve party, New Year's party.
Yeah, don't worry. I've already smuggled 4 out of the office.
I was wondering what happened to those.
Yeah.
So we'll be covering some ag topics when we come back, but also let's do a little weather trivia. I found we're going to do a 2-question weather trivia. And it's going to be a call in. You got to get them both right, and whoever gets these 2 questions right will get a rain gauge. They're kind of difficult. I'm not going to give you what the questions are because you know what? You can Google those real quick. So we'll wait until after the break. We'll be giving away one of our productive alternative heavy-duty rain gauges, and then we'll also cover some ag topics. All that coming up in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Moorhead basketball teams will play their final games at the Spud Gym tonight when the girls tip off the ceremonies at 5 o'clock. The boys team complete their competition at 6:30. Coaches and players who created the Moorhead legacy will be introduced, and then the lights will be turned off. Be with us tonight on 970 WDAY 93.1 FM.
The Moorhead Spuds are on the air on AM 970 and 93.1 FM WDAY Radio.
Pucklet Chevrolet Buick GMC in Valley City makes it easy to find your next Chevrolet Buick GMC or pre-owned vehicle by offering a great selection at our best prices possible.
Hello from the WDAY News Center. I'm Ty Schoenert with your news update. An ice storm moving through the Red River Valley, bringing significant impacts to area cities. The storm leaving much of Grand Forks coated in ice. Horace and Breckenridge currently asking residents as well to discharge some pumps outside because city lift stations are currently failing with the high amount of precipitation. The storm also causing power issues in several southeastern North Dakota counties. Just over 75% of customers in Stutsman County are currently without power, and just under 50% of Lemoore County residents are also without power. Other counties seeing impacts include Logan, Foster, Barnes, and Ransom counties, among a list of several other North Dakota counties. The National Weather Service issuing a rare December flood warning for the Red River. Forecasters say warm temperatures are causing precipitation that would normally turn to snow to flow into the river basin above Fargo instead. Minor flooding expected in areas along the river, including the Minnesota counties of Clay, Cass, and Wilkin. More flooding expected over the weekend. Red River expected to crest to just over 22 feet by Sunday. And a Prairie Garden in the city of Fargo at center stage of Tuesday night's Fargo City Commission meeting after a neighbor filed a complaint with the city of Fargo on behalf of herself and her neighbors. At Tuesday's Fargo City Commission meeting, the commission voting 4-1 to grant the permit and license for the garden. Dave Pepcorn casting a lone dissenting vote. I'm Ty Schoenert with WDAYRadioNow.com. First with the news when you need to know.
Love is all around during the 2023 Subaru Share the Love event. By the end of this, our 16th year, Subaru will have donated over $285 million to charity, like the ASPCA, Make-A-Wish, Meals on Wheels America, and the National Park Foundation. And Muscatel Subaru is also proud to support Fraser Limited right here in the Valley. Visit muscatelsubaru.com for more details.
Hi, I'm Kevin Wolf, president of Laney's. Are you considering remodeling your bathroom? Or maybe you're interested in upgrading your kitchen? If so, you need to consider Laney's for all of your plumbing needs. Our plumbers are courteous, clean, and professional, and you can trust that they will get it done right the first time. So for peace of mind, call us today at 237-0543 or visit us on the web at laneysinc.com.
828 is just great.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No. We tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our client's best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
Weather and Ag in Focus on WDAY Radio.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus, 1:35 in the afternoon. I want to thank everybody for joining us. We have caller John is on line one. John, you want to break? Is he on there? I'm not.
I didn't hear the bing.
There's John. All right. You did. What were you looking for,
I don't
John?
know why. I didn't hear the bing.
What?
Yeah, the little ding that tells me I'm on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
Right.
Jacob had you locked into place. That's why, John.
Oh, that's why.
How about ding? There you go. You're on.
Okay, yeah, I'll go with that.
What do you got for us today, John?
Well, and I shouldn't sell it this cheap, but I have a small generator if somebody's really desperate and needs one. Now, I don't want you calling me to buy it to turn around and scalp somebody in the hinterlands who desperately needs this thing, but it's only like a little 3K, which is enough to run a furnace and or a sump pump, maybe both at the same time. So if you got like a gas furnace, it'll be all right. If you got an electric one, no, you need more power than that. I can tell you that. But the little sucker runs $150 cash. You got to come to Fargo to get it. That's my Christmas offer for the year.
All right.
Because I can feel your pain out there, people. Because I was picking up about a third of my Chinese elm tree off my roof and out of my yard and off of my equipment yesterday, and this is a real headache for everybody.
It is, and it's a lot worse out west too, for sure.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason why. I know I deliver to some of the retail stores in Fargo, and I know just about everybody's out of them. So I'm sure there's somebody out there who could use a cheap one, especially maybe somebody who's just not got a lot of money in their pocket. And I'm fine to pass the love on to somebody who needs this thing.
Awesome. Well, what you want us? You want them to email us, John? Is that the easiest way, and then we can pass the information along to you?
Yeah, go ahead and email weather. The weather address.
Yeah, weather@flagfamily.com. Again, that's weather@flagfamily.com if interested in getting that from John. And John's got some great he's got some great equipment. It runs great, and that's a pretty good price, so that's not bad.
Yeah, that's garage sale price, and I'll make sure it's running square again because it's sat for a little bit, so I'll have to drain the gas out of the tank, but the carb was put away dry, so she'll fire up and run. And I load tested it when I got it running. did a lot of work to that one, put a carb and some other stuff on it to get her to run square again. But if you want, Dean, you can send me the first 3 phone numbers you get, and I'll go down the list from there.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Okay, buddy.
Hey, thanks, John. Hey, have a great New Year, buddy.
Yeah, I hope everybody has one after this.
No doubt. That's for sure.
They're, like they say, there ain't enough booze at the liquor store for this one.
That's a good point. That's a good point. John, thank you so much for calling, buddy. And again,
All right, later.
All right. And again, if you're interested in that generator, shoot us an email, weather@flagfamily.com. Leave your name and phone number on that email, and then we will pass that along to John, and then he can get in touch with you. So he's got a good heart. He's always willing to help.
He's always say that's nice of him to offer to do something like that.
Oh, especially when most of the, like you said, the big box stores they're out.
Yeah, a lot of things are sold out now.
Yeah, so
I've been thinking about getting one of them Generacs.
Oh yes, I've known several folks with
permanent
those.
ones on the side of your house. Be so
and
nice.
it'll flip on automatically.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, so you guys want to do a quick weather trivia? See if we can give away a rain gauge.
You know, I just don't know, man. I just yeah, why not?
Okay. All right, so we're going to do 2 questions. You have to get these both right. In the field of meteorology, what do octas? In the field of meteorology, wow. In the field of meteorology, what do octas measure? That's what do octas measure in the field of meteorology? And what is the middle color of a rainbow? Those 2 questions.
Okay, I'm still stuck on the oak cat that you called it. So
Octa.
an oak cat.
Octa.
Octa. Fine.
What does in the field of meteorology, what do octas measure? And what is the middle color of the rainbow? 701-293-9000 to win a productive alternative rain gauge. Those are heavy duty, and those would have even stood up in this ice storm, without a doubt.
They really would. They'd be coated, but they'd still be standing.
It would absolutely be coated, no doubt about it. So, again, what is the middle color of the rainbow, and what does octa measure in the field of meteorology? Justin, did you know what octas measure? We never learned this, so...
I was going to say, Dean, if without looking it up, you probably didn't know what this was either.
This was something that, this is, and this might be something new. I know we were not taught this in college. So, but what do octas measure in meteorology, and what's the middle color of the rainbow? 701-293-9000. Any guesses? Well, don't give it away, but
well, I mean, we could just give out guesses.
Yeah.
And
well, until we get
it's the number of birds in the sky.
I can hear the Google search engines going right now. So until
everyone in the background.
Yeah.
That's right. All the typing, all of it.
Oh man. So why don't we cover a couple ag topics, Bridgette?
So a couple of things. For the holidays, many of you have been wiping the counters clean with all of the meals that were being prepared. And a lot of folks use those one-time use only disposable, like Clorox wipes, right? They come in the plastic tub. Well, cotton is, exactly what Dean's holding up right there on camera. Cotton wipes that are reusable are being found to be highly effective. They are going to contain nanoparticles of silver, which is a powerful antimicrobial agent. And when they do that, they can be used, thrown in the wash, and reused again up to 30 different times. And with that antimicrobial activity of them, they will help to reduce like staph infection or viruses, bacteria, etc., and really more sustainable than the one-time throwaway wipes. So the cotton market might have a little uptick in being able to use something like that as a reusable wipe. And most folks would be happy to see those happen as well.
Interesting. Never knew that.
We also know that as we get into next season, right, that we're already thinking ahead about the 2024 growing season, soybean cyst nematode, well, it's not if you have it, pretty much folks just plain have it. And Iowa State University has developed the SCN, soybean cyst nematode profit checker. For folks who are interested in finding that, you can just drop me a message, ag@flagfamily.com, and I'll send you the link for it. But this helps you as a farmer to analyze and anticipate if you could have future yield loss from soybean cyst nematode. High estimated yield loss could prompt you to rotate to a non-host crop or plant an alternative source of seed with better SCN resistance. So again, as you are thinking about next year, as you're getting your soil sampling back, and if you want to use this profit checker to determine some changes you might want to make for the growing season, here's one more item to add to your list. And again, you can send me an email, ag@flagfamily.com, and I'd be happy to help get you lined up to use that.
All right. Fantastic. Well, we got
winners.
We got a couple of callers, so we're going to take Eric on line.
Okay.
We're going to take Eric on line 1 here. Matthew, you're next up in case Eric doesn't get this right. Welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus, Eric. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Doing good. You haven't won anything in the last 30 days, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
So for a productive alternative rain gauge, what in the field of meteorology, what do octas measure?
Cloud cover.
All right. And what's the middle color of the rainbow?
Green.
Oh, you got it. Good. All right. Well done. Well done. Where's our sound effect? There we go. All right. Congratulations, Eric. All right. Honest, did you Google it?
I had to Google the rainbow color.
Oh, you knew the octa one, but you had to Google the rainbow one. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Now, how did you know the octa one?
I've heard it before.
Okay. Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, Eric. If you want to hang on the line real quick, our producer, Jacob, he'll get all your information, and you can stop by our studio during regular business hours to pick that up. All right. Thank you so much. And so
right offhand,
So
I knew the G. Because if you think about it, like we all learned in science class,
Roy G. Biv. Yeah.
I'm like, it's green. Perfect.
Yeah. But he knew the octa one. That was, I figured for sure, you got to Google that. But
it's never going to be octa for me after Dean called it an oak cat. That's the way I'm going to have to stick with
Oak
that.
cat.
Arctic
Oak cats. How many cats are on the
Arctic
oaks?
cat? What? I want to go snowmobiling.
Ooh, Arctic fox.
There you go.
Oh, that's a
You ever
whole
see those
different
things
game.
hunt? Those things are
Fast.
crazy.
Yeah.
I think I'm thinking of the right animal. They like bury their head, like they dive head first into snow.
Well, they know what's down there and how to get it.
Yeah, dive head first.
I mean, personally, I've done the same thing with a cookie jar. I mean, I know what's in there and how to get it.
It's called a Bridgette.
How'd it feel afterwards?
It's called a Bridgette cat.
Well, it was all fine as long as I got the cookies,
Yeah, right.
which I have done everything I can to help bring down the cookie population of the world over the holiday season. I hope I have helped the rest of you out.
Well, see, now you've got to get a hold of Farm Fit Mama then, right?
Yes. Believe me, she knows.
Awesome. Well, it's time we have to pay a few more bills here, but when we come back, we'll go over a few more ag topics, including record-winning corn yield. We'll have more.
Yes.
We'll have more on that and other topics coming up right after the break. Don't go anywhere.
Oh, can you imagine a stress-free Sunday with family, friends, fun, and food? You can have it when you make Barron's your new Sunday brunch headquarters. Experience a brunch like nowhere else. Your kids will love the customizable waffle bar, fresh scrambled eggs, thick-cut bacon, and much more. Plus, while Mama sips on a mimosa, you can wear out the kids in the arcade at Kingpins.
For a stress-free Sunday, mention My Brunch Headquarters and receive 20% off brunch at Barron's. Make your Sunday stress-free, filled with great food, no cleanup, and most importantly, where family, friends, fun, and food come together for brunch at Barron's. Go to brunchatbarons.com. Again, brunch at BARONS.com. And don't forget to mention My Brunch Headquarters for 20% off and experience your stress-free Sunday at brunchatbarons.com.
Brunch at Barron's, located inside Kingpins off I-29 and 52nd Avenue South in Fargo.
This is Mark Wagner at ND Estate Services. I want to thank all the listeners out there and just really wishing you a very Merry Christmas. God bless you. Have a Happy New Year. Encouraging you to give your family the gift of avoiding probate at death, eliminating legal guardianship when you're incapacitated, saving taxes, protecting their inheritance. Find out more at ndestateservices.com, 701-318-0908.
Why should you use a soybean seed treatment? I'm Darren Hefty with Hefty Seed Company. Hefty Complete Soybean Seed Treatment is the most comprehensive in the industry, with 4 fungicides, 1 very good insecticide, an inoculant plus an extender, and a host of additional biologicals, or as we call them, naturals, totaling nearly 40 components that give you 40 chances to win in nearly any field situation. For more information about how Hefty Complete Soybean Seed Treatment can pay for you, visit with your local Hefty agronomist today.
Light up the season by treating yourself to a new vehicle at Pucklich and Valley City. Choose from our wide selection of over 100 new Chevys available with special end-of-year savings. That means save nearly $8,200 on select new 2024 Chevy Silverado 1500s. As we wrap up the year, we would like to thank our loyal community as you have made our success possible. Merry Christmas from everyone at Pucklich Chevrolet GMC in Valley City. See dealer for details.
At Aspire Optical Company, we believe in nurturing healthy vision from the roots up. Imagine the excitement as the 3rd graders at Legacy Elementary dive into the book, How Did That Get in My Lunchbox? A tasty tale about where their food comes from. Just like healthy habits fuel young minds, great eating habits create healthy vision. Speaking of a feast for the eyes, you can feast your eyes on a fresh selection of over 2,000 frames and sunglasses at Aspire Optical. Annual eye exams and a healthy diet make for a happy child. Aspire Optical Company, serving up eyewear like you've never seen, for a vision like you've never experienced.
I was crossing the street when I met the love of my life. I chased after her. Nothing would stand in my way. Not the dog walker, nor the hot dog vendor. Finally reaching her, I asked, "What do you call that amazing smell?"
It's Gain Flings.
Gain Flings. My love had a name, but more importantly, it had a scent.
Fall in love with Gain Flings. Seriously good scent. Gain Flings with 50% more freshness ingredients versus leading bargain detergent.
Hey, you. The one on the couch who just told your friend you can't go out because you're busy? Ready to get real about your psoriasis? When your current treatments don't do enough to help control the inflammation beneath the skin, causing plaques and pain, stressing and scratching, it's time to stop hiding and get real with your dermatologist so they can help you get clear. Get real clear about psoriasis at letsgetrealclear.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
This is Weather and Ag in Focus with Bridgette Readel, Justin Storm, and Dean Wysocki.
Are you waiting for this one?
He who pushes the button in jest will buy a drink for all of the rest.
Oh, nice.
Thanks, Dean.
I like where that's going.
How many was that? 4? Is that 4 drinks?
You've been working on that one, haven't you?
Just popped right up in there.
All right.
But yeah, welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. I guess I'll take this one for us. If you want to join on the conversation or ask any questions, report any damage from that storm we had, feel free to give us a call on the Red Wing Shoes phone line. That's 701-293-9000. John's got a generator. If you're in desperate need of one, you have no power and can't seem to find one, you can shoot us an email, weather@flagfamily.com. It's not a very big generator, but enough to run a small gas furnace and a sump pump. He's going to sell it for $150. You can email us. We'll get you the information over there. And we still got a few ag topics that we need to cover today, as well as a rundown on the forecast coming up here in just a little bit. But Dean was teasing it. There's a new record corn yield, right, Bridgette?
There is. And so that record corn yield winner is David Hula of Charles City, Virginia. David's no stranger to winning because between him, his son, and his brother, they have been about the 12-time winning champions for National Corn Growers Association's contest. This has happened for 59 years, always looking to push the limits of how much corn can be grown. Now, the Hulas broke this record with a yield of 623.8 bushels. Let me reiterate that. 623.8 bushels. Now, if I were to say on average, our corn yields in this neighborhood somewhere maybe around that 200 mark. We have a lot of folks that are anywhere from 180 to maybe 220 as we go through our listening area. Well, with Hula's number, how did he get there? Let's just say that this was not a quarter section or a full section of corn. This is a smaller field. It's probably similar in size to our Here We Grow project of about 20 acres. And it was very, very babied. This was probably the most attentive cornfield in the nation. So he's going to plant elite genetics to go along into this contest.
Wow.
It is under irrigation, so he can control how much rainfall to push that corn crop forward. He was not sparing the horses when it came to fertilizer, fungicide, weed control. There couldn't have been a bug anywhere in the neighborhood to make sure that corn was left alone and completely perfected. But again, this was in fact the new world record. That beats the previous record of 616 bushels that he set in 2019.
Wow.
So again, this is the National Corn Growers Association yield winner, David Hula of Charles City, Virginia. And one of our sponsors that you may have heard on our break is Hefty Seed Company. Frequently during the July field day that Hefty puts on down in Baltic, South Dakota, Hula is often there talking about how does he get his corn to grow in the way that he does. So that's a place to check out what David Hula does and how he gets it to that yield and bushel.
That's amazing.
It's
How
a
many
lot.
how many acres?
It's a lot.
How many acres is that on?
It's a small amount. It doesn't list it in this story how many acres it
Right.
was on, but if I were to speculate, I would bet it was 20 or less that he did it.
So there's our.
It's a pretty small amount.
There's our goal for Here We Grow
next year for us. Wow.
20
Gosh,
acres.
if we could get 600 bushel. We would need to find some irrigated land.
Yeah. We can. I know a spot. It's a drive.
Well,
I
and
know
also-
a spot though.
We'd also need to think about his growing season. You know, he's in Virginia.
That's true.
He's got days on
Mhm.
us that we can't possibly make up for
That's a good
with
point.
our weather.
Yep.
We can have somebody donate us a giant dome to put over the field, and we can put climate control, heat, and air conditioning into it.
Suddenly, the Sci-Fi Network comes to life.
Right?
Is what you're telling me.
So
This is how they're going to be farming on Mars.
Right. Oh man.
Sure.
One of our listeners just emailed us, Mark. I'm gonna read it. It's a daily dad joke. I had to keep it together when I read this. What do you call a beef-loving kidney doctor who can also predict the weather? What do you call a beef-loving kidney doctor?
Kidney doctor.
Who also can predict the weather?
A bovine urologist?
A meteorologist.
Nice.
Where's the rim shot? There you go.
Yes. That's a terrible one.
Thanks, Mark.
I got a good
Goodness.
chuckle on that as well when I had read it.
Oh, not bad.
All right, guys. Weather-wise, when does the
Yeah.
sun come out?
Well,
When does all this ice melt?
I know.
Please?
Annie said the sun will come out tomorrow, but I think she's been sitting at the bar along with Mother Nature with this weather the way it's been. We're looking at a lot of clouds and fog still blanketing the area. Freezing fog in the far northern valley where temperatures are right at the freezing mark. So be careful if you're out and about in the northern valley. We'll see that fog thicken up as we head into the overnight hours. So again, safe travel if you're out and about. Highs today, mid-30s, although we'll be stuck in the low 30s in the northern valley. And then tonight, we're dropping down into the 20s, so we'll see that freezing fog. Could slicken up some of those bridges and overpasses and roadways, so be careful on that. And then after some morning fog tomorrow, we'll see mainly cloudy skies. We might see a break or two of sun in the afternoon, but don't look for much. And then more fog develops tomorrow night. Better chance for sunshine on Friday as winds start to turn to the southwest. That should warm us up into the upper 30s on Friday after mid-30s again tomorrow. And then as we head into the weekend, a clipper system will bring windy conditions on Saturday. We can't rule out a flurry or a snow shower, but I think most areas are remaining dry. And then 20s over the weekend. And then start off the new year, we're back in the 20s and low 30s for early next week. So not a bad-looking forecast. No big storms on the horizon. I still don't see any Arctic outbreaks. Maybe that end of the first week in January, so that would be late next week or the following weekend. Still a lot of question marks on that. But we will more than, and it'll be interesting. According to the LRC, I believe we've got a couple of systems don't we, Justin? That first week or to 10 days in January, at least Clipper systems.
Yeah, we got one on the 4th. Yeah, when are you traveling, Bridget?
Yeah,
the 4th. Thanks.
I swear, man, it's every time. Every time you are driving on the LRC calendars.
Okay. And as you were saying,
I want just write down what your next month of traveling is.
I could. So it looks like the 4th. The Devil's Lake, North Dakota group. I apologize. As I come to the Lake Region Roundup in Devil's Lake, I will be bringing some weather with. But
great.
That weather won't affect you in the next hour. Up next is the Jay Thomas Show. Tim Flacco will be his guest host. Enjoy. We'll be back tomorrow.
Wimmer's Diamonds, your